Hi friends and welcome back to Art&Life. Today I'm here with another watercolor tutorial. So without any further ado, let's get started. The materials we're going to be using for today's tutorial are Artist Acrylic paper. Try not to use any A4 paper because it is not ideal for watercolor paintings. Then we're going to be using Camel's watercolor cakes, which are 24 shades. They also come with a free synthetic brush inside. These watercolor cakes are the student version, but if you want to, you can also use the artist version. They are a bit more pigmented than the student version, that means a bit more vibrant. Then we're going to be using two other brushes. Then we would need a pencil to sketch the outline of the village. You can use any HB pencil. Then I'll be using masking tape just to make the borders white. Then we'll need tissue paper and water to activate the paint and also to clean your brushes with. Now I've used masking tape for the borders. Now you can mix the colors either on the palette or directly on them. Now start sketching the outline of the village. This is a very rough sketch because we're going to be working on with the details further when we start painting. Now take your brush and dip it in water and apply the water on the surface. We're going to be using a technique called the wet on wet technique, which means that we are going to be applying wet paint on the wet surface. This creates a very blurred image and is used mainly for backgrounds and even blending your paints. Make sure you don't add a lot of layers of water onto your paper. Adding the colors, I'm going to be using sky blue for the first layer of my sky. Now I'm adding medium green for the leaves. I'm using sap green for finer details. You can of course change the shades according to your choice. Now I'm using dark green for the bushes. I'm adding darker shades on top of it. Now I'm using yellow ochre to create a lighter shade of green. Doing the same with the other side. Now I'm using medium green. Now I'm using yellow ochre and blending the colors together. Now using a pointed brush that was provided inside the box, I'm creating finer details to make the bushes. Using light blue color. Now blending it using a darker shade of blue. Now I'm adding some more details to the sky. Now I'm using dark green, dark blue and lighter shades of green. We have to start off by using the lighter shades and then go on to the darker shades. Now I'm using light green color to create the bushes on the other side. Now I'm using dark blue to create further details onto the bushes. Using medium green. Once the first layer is dried, I'm continuing adding more darker shades on top. Now I'm using yellow ochre for the bottom part. Now I'm using dark green. Now I'm using a pointed brush to give finer details onto the bushes. Now I'm using dark blue to create some more leaves on the trees. Now I'm using medium green color. Now let's start painting the trees by giving a very lighter shade of brown as the first layer and then adding more darker shades on top of it. I've mixed brown color and black to create a way darker shade. Doing the same with the other tree. Now I'm using orange color for the house. Now let's start painting the water. Pre-wet the surface using clean water and start adding the colors. Here I'm using light orange as I did the same color for the roof of the house. Now I'm using a very light shade of blue. Now I'm giving some final details using dark shades of blue and green. Now I'm using dark brown to create finer details on the roof. Now I'm using medium blue color. Now I'm using dark brown color. Now I'm using dark brown color to give further more details before we remove the masking tape. And now we are done painting. Before removing the masking tape, make sure your painting is dried well or the paint might go over the borders. Now slowly remove the masking tape. And that's all for today's video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching. Bye.